What's up everybody, it's Nick here, and today we're going to be replacing the EGR valve in my 1995 Chevy, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so first things first, let's unbox our brand new EGR valve. This is what they look like. Then also in the box we have the EGR valve gasket. Alright, so for easier clearance, I'm going to remove my air box. So right here I'm going to disconnect this vacuum line, so that way I can move this out of the way. I'm actually going to take it completely off, so that way I don't risk breaking it, because my vacuum lines are so old, they're very brittle. I'm gonna be super gentle with them. So there's that out of the way. Then I'm gonna disconnect my IAC, disconnect this vacuum line from the EGR, set this wiring harness down there. And to make things easier, I'm gonna remove this whole wiring harness assembly. It's just held in by a 9/16 bolt. And now we disconnect that wiring harness, and this entire thing should just pull right off. Set that off to the side. And now we have a lot of access to our EGR valve. And due to these bolts being in a weird place, you're better off just using a 13mm open-ended wrench like this. With one removed, set that off to the side. And for this one, I'm going to try to wiggle a ratchet down in there. Alright, with our final bolt removed, we can take our old part and compare it with our new part. As you guys can see, they are not the same. And before I make run to the parts store, I want to show you guys how to identify if your EGR is bad. So all you have to do is you have to compress this diaphragm, cover the vacuum hole, and it should not go down like mine. As you guys can see, mine falls back down even though I'm covering this vacuum hole. So this EGR is pretty much shot. But if we go ahead and grab our brand new one, you guys see we can compress it, cover the hole, and it stays up like how it's supposed to. This is a good EGR. It's just not the right one for us. Before we begin to install the new piece, make sure you clean this gasket surface. As you can see, there's a lot of gunk left on mine. So you want to plug these two holes, get yourself a plastic scraper so that way you don't ding the aluminum, and get this surface nice and clean so you have a good seal. And once the majority of the gasket's scraped off, that's as best as I can get with the plastic one. Grab yourself some brake clean and a rag, get some brake clean on that rag, and just wipe the surface down. And now we have a nice clean surface for our brand new EGR and gasket to mate to. Alright, so we got our brand new part. Let's open it up. Brand new gasket. This bottom side looks much better, and it matches the old one, so we can install this on our truck. First things first, let's remove these tin foil plugs. And now we can set our gasket in place. Set this. Start this one by hand. And now with both of them started, we can grab our wrench and begin tightening them. And in this case, if you have a ratcheting wrench, I definitely suggest using it. I do not have a ratcheting wrench. So it's pretty tight. I'm going to start doing the other one. You don't want to torque one all the way down, then do the other, because you want the gasket to more evenly compress. So with that torque down, that looks pretty good. We can begin reassembling this whole area. First, let's install this bracket back in. This is just held in by a singular nut. So with that installed, we can begin reconnecting wiring harnesses, reconnect this vacuum hose to our actual EGR valve, reconnect our IAC wiring, reconnect our throttle position sensor, reconnect our map sensor, and finally we have one more vacuum line. So now we have everything connected up. We're ready to put our air box back on and start the truck. Alright, my camera is about to die, so let's put our air box back on. I believe we are ready to go and try and start the pickup.